All right, this holiday season, there's no doubt about it, keeping the traveling public safe is a daunting task. But now there's some new questions out there about the way that Transportation Security Administration is burning through money. A new Washington Post front page report today finds that the TSA has spent, get this, $14 billion on transactions with contractors since 2001. With about $8 billion of those bucks going to new and often unproven technologies. It's been quite a boon for companies that do security equipment. Now, approximately $800 million has been spent on devices that screen bags and passengers' items, and some are now starting to question. They're saying, you know, is this money, is it all worth it? And does it really do us any good? Does it really keep us any safer? And that's the subject of that front page story in the Washington Post today. And today we have Tom Blank, who is a former TSA deputy administrator, and he joins me now. Tom, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Hey, Martha, thanks for having me.
You know, this is something that has gone through my mind a lot, okay? And you look at the numbers here, $30 million on devices that did the air puff thing, and I remember going through those. And then you have $1.3 billion that has been designated now for airport screening technologies in the coming year. Is there any evidence? As far as I know, they've never caught anybody using any of this equipment.
Well, the idea is to mitigate risk, to make sure that the filter is finer, and that in particular it's more difficult to sneak explosives through the checkpoint on board aircraft. Martha, I think it's important to note that this technology program, TSA's Aviation Security Technology Program, is one of the largest technology programs outside DoD, and it's got to be viewed in that context. Here's an agency that's only 10 years old, did not have the infrastructure when it was created to do all the evaluation and analytics, was partnered with an industry that did not have manufacturing capability on 9/11/01.
I hear you, Tom, and I respect what you're saying, and I respect the work that the people at the TSA are trying to do. But when you look at the situation, you do sort of a cost-benefit analysis, right? You look at the times when we've caught people. It's always been a passenger. You look at Richard Reed, passengers that were aware brought him in. And time after time, it's usually an alert person, somebody else, who goes, something's not right there. Has a TSA person ever stopped a terrorist or an attempt since 2001?
Well, that's certainly not public information, but I really think
But don't you think it would be if they had? Don't you think if they had stopped anybody that it would have been, screamed from the rafters of TSA, we got somebody because we're doing such a darn good job?
Well, I think the fair assessment is whether or not those that are engaged in the war on terror, and TSA is a full partner in that war, have thwarted terrorist attacks. And I think there's no question that the partnership that exists between our international allies, where TSA is a major player, has in fact thwarted terrorist attacks against the aviation system.
All right, that example still eludes me if it's out there, but we thank you, and I think it's good to bring all this to everyone's attention. You want your dollars to go to the right places, and a lot of folks would say we should be pulling people out of the line if they are suspicious for any reason. So we're going to continue this conversation. We've got some breaking news now that we need to get to, but Mr. Blank, thank you very much. Good to have you here today, sir.
Thank you.